Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays. This is your host, PG, with Unapologetically Saving You Money. Saving Money Unapologetically is the actual name of my channel. I am your host, PG, that's me. It is Friday evening, and I'm going to do a little bit of a fun fact Friday. I won't be saving you any money, perhaps, but I will save you the irony of figuring out if you're as old as I am, or if you really like certain things, then you know all about Pyrex. Pyrex is a brand that has been around for many, many years, and it's a brand of bakeware and food storage containerware. It is made out of a type of glass. Now, the fun fact is, how do you tell whether or not you have vintage Pyrex? And of course, it's going to be vintage if it was handed down or passed down to you from your perhaps mother, grandmother, aunt, a sister, a relative that is perhaps, in their 40s or 50s. Or even older, put it that way. Now, the difference in the Pyrex that is still being manufactured today, or modern Pyrex, and the Pyrex of, the 70s and the 60s and what have you, and even a little bit older, is that you can tell by the logo. And Pyrex's logo is the word Pyrex. The logo, if the logo's letters are in all capital letters, then you have a vintage piece of Pyrex. If you turn it over and under the bottom or the side or wherever the logo is, it may be stamped inside or on the outer portion of it. If that logo is in all lowercase letters, meaning every letter of the spelling of the word Pyrex is all lowercase, then you have a modern piece of Pyrex that is not vintage. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. However, this ties in with gathering around the kitchen table or the dining table with family and friends to celebrate the holidays. I hope that you all had a wonderful Christmas. Those that are celebrating Hanukkah, those that are celebrating other holidays that are tied into this festive time of the year. Happy holidays to you. But with that being said, a lot of times when we go to certain family member houses and what have you, or functions during the holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving, Easter, Mother's Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, what have you, we will often find that sometimes we may use a particular piece of tableware that was handed down to us, or that was collected by us, or someone in our family that was near and dear to us who had it a long, long time ago. And then you acquired that piece and you bring it out on special occasions to help in remembrance of that person, and to also help present your tablescape to your family and friends and other relatives who you invite over for the party or for the dinner party or for whatever it is that you're celebrating. And a lot of times you will see something that is quite unique in color or in pattern, sitting on a buffet, sitting on an island, sitting on the dining room table, maybe in the living room where there's, food being served or whatever, or on the counter, perhaps in the kitchen, or however, that host or hostess chooses to decorate the table for the occasion. A lot of times you will see perhaps an odd pattern. Sometimes you will see a striped pattern. Sometimes you will see a pattern with stars, and just a number of patterns and a number of colors that may not be indicative of the time frame that we may be living in at that time. So when you inquire about it, they may tell you the story or the backstory behind how they got the particular piece of servingware, and how it was passed down to them in their family, or they particularly like a certain style or like a certain pattern or a grouping of colors, and they decided to use that. And some people collect Pyrex that are way younger than me. Some people hold on to the pieces that were given to them by their grandparents, in the estate of particular people that were in your family and has passed on. A lot of people also like Pyrex because it is very durable, especially the Pyrex of old, because you could take it basically from the freezer or the refrigerator and pop it into the oven. Now, the Pyrex that is modern and made today, you need to bring that to room temperature before you pop it in the oven. Also, the Pyrex of old, or from many years ago, or from yesterday, as we want to call it, a lot of times you could take and place that Pyrex in a non-preheated oven. And while that oven is coming up to temperature that you desire it to be, you wouldn't have to worry about the Pyrex or that particular dish exploding in the oven or cracking and, spilling your food and contaminating it and whatever. But that's a different story today, because the modern Pyrex needs to be, handled a little bit more delicately, shall I say, and a little bit more cautiously about what you can do with it, taking it from the freezer. It's okay to use a glass Pyrex dish or bowl or particular storage food container in your refrigerator or your freezer. However, you must let it become at least refrigerator temperature after removing it from the freezer before you place it in a hot oven. But you don't have to worry about that with older Pyrex because of the particular glass content that it is derived from and how it was made back then. So it kind of withstands a beating. But I just thought that would give you a little bit of a fun fact here on this Friday, the last Friday of 2024. As we move forward, I wanted to let you know that I will be doing some, little helpful tips and tidbits here and there on certain things that, again, can save you money in the long run. And such as, if you like Pyrex or you've acquired some Pyrex and you really want to know whether it's worth anything or not, then certainly the good way or a easy way to start to find out is looking at the logo, which is the spelling of the word Pyrex. Again, if it is in all capital letters, spelled out in all caps, then you have a vintage piece. If the logo spelling of the word Pyrex is in all lowercase, then you have a modern day piece of Pyrex. Meaning vintage Pyrex is highly sought after, and certain patterns are more prominent than others and are more scarce than others. So the scarcer the pattern, which means the harder to find that pattern in certain sizes or bowls or shapes or pieces, then the more um, the more lucrative, shall I say, or the more expensive that piece that you may have or may want to acquire will cost you. So when you're walking into the antique stores or antique malls and flea markets and shops along the way and what have you, or garage sales and estate sales, and you want to know the difference, and you run across a piece and say, "Oh, that looks like Pyrex," and you flip it over or look inside and find out that it is Pyrex, and then if they're wanting $35 for that small bowl or that small container, um, know that one, they may have overpriced that item, or two, it is an item that is of a scarcity or a rare pattern, meaning the color may be rare or less popular and hard to find, or meaning that they did not make that pattern very long and then it was discontinued, and people really desire that pattern, but um, since it's no longer made, then you have to go on what's in existence still, who may whatever may be tucked in your grandmother, great grandmother's attic or something, or was in the attic, and then the house was perhaps sold or cleaned out, cleaned up, and remodeled, and they threw it all out by the curb, and someone was out there curb crawling one day and came across a box that said dishes free, take me, or whatever, and you found a number of Pyrex pieces and you took it home, washed it. Please do not put your Pyrex, whether it's modern Pyrex or that of the vintage era, please do not put it in the dishwasher. Please, please, please do not put Pyrex in the dishwasher. It is to be hand washed only without harsh detergents, meaning no Clorox, no Fabuloso, no bleach, no soft scrub, no none of that. Soap, just regular mild dishwashing soap and water. But going forward, that's how you would tell whether or not you have a vintage piece of Pyrex or a modern day piece of Pyrex. And it could save you some money, because if you're in search of Pyrex and want to start perhaps collecting it, then I want you to know not to be fooled by certain things. And if the logo is in lowercase, then it's not of any lower or less quality, but it is not vintage, meaning it's modern, so that it's not as collectible as that of the 70s or the 60s, or or the 50s or what have you. So just be aware. And I just wanted to bring that to you. I just thought about coming up with something kind of fun. Nothing too heavy, nothing too mind boggling where you're going to have to get out a calculator and try to figure out some stuff. But don't worry. Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG, is definitely going to get it in gear for 2025, as it is fast approaching and we all want to save more and spend less as possible moving forward. We don't know, what the future will hold financially for any of us. Prices have risen, drastically over the last 8 years, shall I say. But if the new administration decides to go the route that they have promised the people who voted for them, then unfortunately those people will suffer like the average American will, in the working class or retired or whatever. If they impose the tariffs, we are the ones that will pay the tariffs. You're not going to escape it. Of course, the powers that be and the corporate greed and corporate America will definitely pass those extra taxes and extra things on to the consumer on our everyday goods: toilet paper, dish soap, washing detergent, eggs, flour, rice, olive oil, grapeseed oil, Crisco, you name it, it will increase if all of these tariffs come into play. So be mindful, you guys, going forward, when there are sales on products that you know you and or your family or household uses or needs or will need in the future. Try to buy a little bit extra and stock up when you can, while you can, for that rainy day or for those rainy days that may be fast approaching or maybe ahead in the future. And try to curtail some of the the costs down the line, because if you are ready, then you don't have to get ready. If you start to prepare, or you are preparing or continue to prepare or prep, then you are already ahead of the game and ahead of the curve. But if you have to start, there's no time like the present. The few days shortly after Christmas is a very good time to pick up on certain things. A lot of times you can get napkins and paper plates and cutlery and different things that are maybe red and green, or may have a Christmas theme or a holiday theme. But of course, if you just need paper plates or what have you, then you can put it up in your cupboards or your pantry or your cabinets or your storeroom or whatever for next year for the holiday time, and you won't have to purchase that. But if you're in need or something comes up or happens, and perhaps loses power and you can't wash dishes, and you think about, hey, I have these extra plates that we got at a really good price. You can break those out. It doesn't matter what is stamped on the plates themselves. It's just about putting your food on the plate and being able to eat that meal in a hurry, or in some type of crisis situation or something. With that being said, take advantage, if you can, of all of the sales, because a lot of the retailers did not sell a lot of the products that they were anticipating on selling. So, spring is approaching, of course, in the next few months. And they're trying to, because they buy in cycles and they buy long ahead of each season, because the prices are cheaper. So they have to purchase these things way ahead of the time. So right now they're trying to clear out in order to bring in the spring merchandise, the spring household stuff, the spring clothing, all of that has to come. I mean, the next holiday fast approaching would be that's highly celebrated, would be Valentine's Day in February. So they also are making room. And if you went into any Walmarts or Targets, you're seeing them starting to sprinkle in Valentine's Day things or themes on top of moving the Christmas stuff and the seasonal stuff, trying to put all that on clearance. And a lot of the stores, the big department stores and chain stores, are having a tough time because they don't have the necessary space right now. So they're trying to get rid of it. So they're taking these steep discounts where you normally would see things at 50% at Walmart. Some Walmarts had certain items that were 60 and 70% off the very day after Christmas on Thursday. Walgreens is another one. Target, CVS, even Aldi's, Kroger, was discounting things heavily. A lot of places, that even Dollar Tree, that's not Dollar Tree anymore. It's still the name Dollar Tree, but I call it the 5-quarter store and above. But even those stores are making room for the other merchandise that's stocked in their stock room right now, and trucks are delivering every day. So take advantage, when you can and while you can on certain items that you can purchase now at steep discounts. Put it under the bed, put it in the closet, put it up on a shelf, put it in a tote, do something with it, because certainly a savings is a savings. And if you can purchase it now and won't have to purchase certain things a little bit later in 2025, then you can apply those savings to something else. Perhaps add a few more dollars to your credit card bill and paying that off early. Add a few more dollars to the coffers for your weekly grocery spending bill or your monthly grocery bill or whatever. A savings is a savings, you guys. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you. I just wanted to come on and wish everyone a very happy holidays, and definitely moving forward, we will talk again real soon. I plan to perhaps do another short vlog on tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow is Sunday. I have a lot of little errands that I need to run, so I'm not sure what time, but I wanted to take this opportunity to get on here and to give a little bit of a helpful, fun fact about vintage Pyrex and non-vintage Pyrex and how to tell the difference. All right. Y'all have a safe and wonderful New Year's. Be safe out there. If you're going to drink, please do not drive. Designate someone. Take an Uber, take a Lyft, take a regular traditional taxi. Stay home. Go to family and friends. If you have to, take your blanket, sleep over, whatever it is you need to do to keep yourself safe. Because a lot of things are happening. A lot of us will let loose in the celebratory way. But at the same time, drinking and driving just does not mix. A lot of times people do it and they live to tell about it, but a lot of times they do it and they don't live to tell about it. So just be mindful and be careful. We all want to have a safe entrance into the new year. Not everyone will perhaps see the new year, but let's damn sure make a pact to at least try to get to the new year safely without inflicting pain on someone else or our loved ones, ourselves, and or others by not drinking and driving. All right. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy good food, good friends, family, co-workers, whomever, even just the regular everyday stranger. Kindness is free. Be kind to one another. Enjoy your holiday, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye now.